My name is Oshifesolu Adamlare. I'm a mechanic. Welcome to Exxon F1, also known as from Lawon, Colombo, Africa. In one of our videos, I said I will talk about the difference between dominant and dominance in F1. F1 presently, they've made it look like a particular team has been dominant for years now. Another team is now dominant. But I can tell you they are two different things. I don't think the pundit really analyzed what they are talking about, because it sounds as if they think every one of us that watches F1 or that are F1 fans are dummies. Red Bull is a beautiful team. They have a very good team principle. They have a very viable and consistent championship run in which they've always tried to win championships, and even if they are not doing well, they are always either coming second or third in the F1 championship. The worst they can come off is fourth, but in the last 10 years they've done their best to come at worst third, which is a great thing for that team. But when you look at the years in which Red Bull were winning F1, the 4 years that Sebastian Vettel won F1 championship for Red Bull, nobody called it dominant years. When Mercedes won 7 straight championships, including the Constructors championship in 2021, in which Max Verstappen won his first drivers championship, those years that Mercedes were winning, they called it dominant years. No, Mercedes were not dominant. It was a dominance given to them by the other team's inability to fight for championship. Now, when we look at the years Red Bull won, actually from 2010 to 2013, they were in stiff competition, and that same stiff competition was the same stiff competition that Mercedes were in their own years. They were in competition in which is either the other teams failed, or the other teams were unlucky, or they were just on point with their decision, the strategy, their car. They were just on point. And that was what happened to Mercedes in the years they were winning Constructors championship. Mercedes avoided multiple mistakes. Go and watch F1 then. They avoided multiple mistakes. In those years, specifically from 2014 to 2017, Ferrari had a better car. But the problem is the same problem they are having now. They are very, very inconsistent with their decision making and the hierarchical structure. They never got it right. There were races they won. There were races they challenged Mercedes. There were races that most shortcomings they were having was either tires or calls. So both are strategy. It's either they start on a worse tire, or by the time they are pitting for tires, they make a wrong choice of tire and they will blow out their own race by themselves. Red Bull's years in which they could have given Mercedes a trip for their money, they were having two drivers competing in so much unchalant way in which they never made themselves or the drivers understand the reason why they need to win. Verstappen running into Daniel Ricciardo's back, Verstappen fighting with his teammate, and they losing engines. It's their engine. Yeah, it's their engine. They lent their engine through Honda when Honda came back to F1. I could remember McLaren left Honda to come back to Mercedes. They left Renault to go to Honda. So they were like a learning rabbit or mice for Honda. Is either the power unit will shut down or there will be something happening to them. So it is not other teams' fault that they are having power unit issues. Yeah, this is F1. You can't call Red Bull's power unit misery Mercedes' fault or Ferrari's fault. Meanwhile, you cannot call Ferrari's problem Mercedes' fault. That is it. You cannot relate these two together. You cannot bring them together. So it was nobody's fault. Mercedes was winning then because they were making mistakes. But this time, there are no mistakes. This is pure dominance. They have a very good car. They are the most complete team on the grid. You cannot bring the two together. Red Bull is the most complete team on F1 grid. 2021 season, 2022 season, take it or leave it. Damn. Let me shock you. In 2022, they had engine issues, if you can remember. In their first 3 races, they were having engine and transmission issues at some point. The transmission issues were not so spelled out. But you know what? They won plain and clear. Ferrari had engine issues too. Mercedes didn't have engine issues. So it is nobody's problem that Mercedes didn't have engine issues. It is an in-house thing that everybody should design their engine. So some people decide to purchase engines from other teams. So it was pure dominance because of the perfection they had in building the best aerodynamic car on the grid. That is it. So I think the pundits should look at that and not call it dominance or call Mercedes chance at not making mistake dominance. It is just pure perfection in engineering for these teams to come up with strategies, cars, engines that performs. So Mercedes were not dominant. For me, should you say Red Bull were dominant? I will say yeah, they are, because even early this year they were having transmission issues and they are still winning races. The only team having problems on the grid read right now is Ferrari, and it's still their old time problems, structure and mistakes. So you cannot compare what Ferrari is doing wrong with what Red Bull is doing right and what Aston Martin is doing right, McLaren is doing right, Mercedes is doing right. That is just it. That is the beauty of F1. But now we call a perfect car dominance. Mercedes never had a perfect car. There were some tracks in which they were losing. At least in those seasons, there are some races in which Mercedes would lose like 5, 6, 7, even more races. Yeah, more races. 2017 season, 2018 season, Ferrari were leading onto the break of the season. But by the time they came back, they started their clusters of mistakes and they lost the championship to Mercedes. So for those that have not been watching Formula One, then I think the pundits should not misconcept or misconstrue the truth from what is happening, that Mercedes were dominant and this and that. This is a dominant season. Even last year was not really a dominant season for Red Bull, but this year is a dominant season for Red Bull because, hold on, 11 races, all won. Who does that? Who does that? Who does that? It is only Red Bull. It is only Red Bull. So for me, I won't call that a dominant season for Mercedes. 2023 is a pure dominant season for Red Bull. 2021, I won't call it a dominant season because they had their struggles. But 2023 season is a dominant season for Red Bull. Take it or leave it. Thank you. Did I argue? I wouldn't call that argument, but I was just trying to make a point. So thank you. Chee.
Gibor gives you power. Gibor gives you control. Gibor gives you benefits. Are you an individual or business that uses fuel or gas? Use Gibor to find the best prices across all retail outlets in your city. For users and businesses that buy volumes, Gibor gives you access to credit. Gibor also gives you the ability to track your costs and monitor expenses per car or fleet. Need to improve your costs, enjoy incentives, or track expense? Gibor is the answer. Enjoy 5% discount on your first 5 purchases when you get your next fuel voucher from Gibor. Log on to www.gibor.co to enjoy this. Retail outlets wanted nationwide.
We have a new friend in the house. We are in Nigeria here, West Africa. He provides internet for us. They provide the best internet around the mainland, and I know they are still moving to the highland and they are moving all around Nigeria. But for you to get internet on the mainland, contact Firebrad Telecom Limited. They get you sorted out ASAP. The best cable internet on the mainland, fiber, I think they get sorted out. We talk much about them in the course of some of our videos, but contact them, they get sorted out. If you're a builder, if you're an art collector, if you have a showroom, Rated is the best place to get the artworks you need for your new buildings, for your art collections, for your showroom, for your exhibition. Rated Art have one of the best murals, mosaic works, and different art patterns in Nigeria presently. And it's somebody that you can communicate with, talks to you, you tell him what you want, and he will bring the reality out for you. Contact Rated Art. His number is right up here, and you can also go on social media links that are pasted right up here. So check out some of his works. Thank you. Teams Gadget is for those of you that cannot easily go to the market to get your phones, your laptops, your accessories. Just place a call through. His phone number is there. It gets you the best. It's your shop plug to get you the best phones, accessories, laptops, games, and other accessories for your computer gaming experience. Contact Teams Gadget and you get them for you.